Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you are having a wonderful festive season wherever you are. I hope that you are safe. I hope that your children are safe. I hope that your family is safe. I know that you are on the holidays, man, but politicians are not on the holidays. South Africans are going to the polls in 2024, so politicians are on the road. This festive season is like a festive season like no other, man. This is a very different festive season, man. I mean, when was the last time you've seen politicians active during the festive season, man? You can see what Jacob Zuma is doing, man. Jacob Zuma is not spending his time with his children and his family. You remember when the courts were dragging him in and out? You remember when the courts were dragging him, man? You remember his foundation telling South Africans that, man, Jacob Zuma is an old man. He needs to spend more time with his children. He needs to spend more time with his family. This is an old man. He cannot afford to go to jail. And this guy, South Africans actually felt sorry for him. Even people who actually wanted him to go to jail said that, man, Jacob Zuma, we've had enough of you. Just get out of the way, man. Just go home and spend time with your grandchildren, man. We don't want to hear anything from you again. We know that you have destroyed this country, but you are an old man, man. We don't want to see an old man being dragged in and out of the courts. So just go home and spend time with your children, man. But nope, not Jacob Zuma, man. Jacob Zuma is very active this festive season. You will swear that Jacob Zuma is a 2000 kid. He's very active. This is the same man that we were told that Jacob Zuma is about to die. You remember his foundation telling us that, man, this man is so sick that he's about to die. But right now, he's active. He's active. He's in and out, man, city to city, decampaigning the African National Congress, making sure that he spends his festive on the road, decampaigning the African National Congress. And starting this episode, man, I'm going to say that, guys, I was wrong. I was wrong to actually say that Jacob Zuma will not actively campaign against the African National Congress. I know that I said the worst thing that Jacob Zuma can do to the ANC is to sit back and say nothing. I said that the worst thing that Jacob Zuma can do to the ANC, man, is to sit back and say nothing. But, man, it looks like Jacob Zuma is willing to take it far, because right now he's actively campaigning against the African National Congress. Right now he's telling the people of this country that, guys, you cannot vote for the ANC of Ramaphosa. You cannot do that, man. The people of this country must vote for the MK party. And you see the support that Jacob Zuma is getting, man. This is why I'm telling you that, man, there is no hope for South Africa. There is no hope for this country. There's no hope. As long as the majority of the people in this country, man, majority of poor black people in this country, as long as they operate the way they are operating right now, there's no hope for this country. There's no hope. You would think that the people like Jacob Zuma, man, would actually be challenged. You would think that people like Jacob Zuma would actually be held accountable for their presidency, for their tenure as the president of this country, man. But right now, Jacob Zuma is campaigning, man. People are saying nothing about the fact that Jacob Zuma was the president of this country for almost 10 years. People are saying nothing about the fact that Jacob Zuma ran the country with the Guptas, man. Literally ran the countries with the Guptas, man. Our ministers, the Fikile Mbalulas of this world, man, were ordered in and out of Saxon world like children. South Africans are saying nothing about that. Jacob Zuma, man, you would swear that Jacob Zuma is Musi Maimane or Jacob Zuma is Hemen Mashaba. This man has never been to the union buildings. South Africans are saying nothing about the record of Jacob Zuma. Why? Because South Africans are more focused on identity politics. I know I was wrong to say that Jacob Zuma will not actively campaign against the African National Congress. I was wrong to say that Jacob Zuma will not actively campaign against the President Ramaphosa. Of course, that part I will admit, but my conspiracy theory still stands, man. My conspiracy theory still stands. This MK thing was concocted by the African National Congress. Jacob Zuma can go all over the place telling the people not to vote for the African National Congress. But I'm going to stick with my conspiracy theory. This whole thing was concocted by the African National Congress. Why hasn't the ANC done anything about Jacob Zuma, man? This man has never been called to the disciplinary hearing. The ANC hasn't done anything, man. What the ANC is talking about right now is taking Jacob Zuma to court because he's using the Umkhonto weSizwe. They are saying nothing about the fact that the man is literally decampaigning their party. They're saying nothing about that. They want to take Jacob Zuma to jail, to court, because Jacob Zuma is using the Umkhonto weSizwe, and Umkhonto weSizwe is ANC's military wing name. So this is why they want to take Jacob Zuma to court. Why are they not taking Jacob Zuma to disciplinary hearing for actively decampaigning the African National Congress? Why are they not expelling Jacob Zuma? You think about it, man. People like Isma Khashule, people like Julius Malema, these people were expelled for far less than what Zuma is doing right now, and the African National Congress is not doing anything. So I'm not going to fold, I'm not going to let my guard down. I still believe that this whole MK thing was concocted by the African National Congress. Why am I saying that? Because right now, guys, if we have to be honest, if you really have to look at this situation right now, the people of this country right now, they're talking about who to vote for between Jacob Zuma and Ramaphosa. They are looking at individuals. They are not looking at the fact that these people are the products of the African National Congress. They are not looking at that. They are looking at individuals. They are looking at identity. And this is why identity politics is so dangerous. Because people right now, they are looking at identities. They are looking at Ramaphosa versus Jacob Zuma. They don't care about the fact that if you vote for Ramaphosa, you are voting for the ANC. If you vote for Jacob Zuma, you are voting for the ANC. Jacob Zuma told the people of this country that, guys, this MK thing, it is the real African National Congress, because we believe that the African National Congress under under Ramaphosa, it is not the real African National Congress. You know that African National Congress under Ramaphosa was taken over by the wide monopoly capital. So right now we have the real African National Congress of the comrades. You know that African National Congress that hates accountability. This is the African National Congress that we have right now. So Jacob Zuma literally told the people of this country that, guys, right now we are not destroying the African National Congress, but we are rebuilding the African National Congress. Actually, we are rescuing the African National Congress. This is the quote that Jacob Zuma and his stupid daughter used, that he said that we are rescuing the African National Congress. The people of this country, man, they are easily fooled. That's why I'm telling them that, guys, do not let your guard down. If you vote for Ramaphosa, you vote for the ANC. If you vote for Zuma, you still vote for the ANC. At the end of the day, the African National Congress is going to win. This is why, till today, I still believe that this whole MK thing was concocted by the African National Congress. The fact that the ANC hasn't expelled Jacob Zuma, even if the ANC expels Jacob Zuma, I'm still going to believe that this whole MK thing was concocted by the African National Congress. Why? Because the leadership of the African National Congress knows the party is dying. The supporters of the African National Congress knows the party is dying. If the African National Congress and the executive there, they are ready to pull the plug, man, they're going to pull the plug and expel Jacob Zuma. They know Jacob Zuma is going to cost them a lot of people. So they're going to see this ANC of Ramaphosa die while the ANC of Jacob Zuma rise in parliament. So different names, same ANC cadres. This is why I'm telling people that, guys, do not let your guard down. At the end of the day, the ANC is going to win. And I believe this is one of the ANC's most desperate campaigns. Man, I've said this before, that 2024, it is going to be the ANC's most desperate campaign. You remember Panyaza Lesufi a couple of months back, he said that the ANC is not going to campaign based on Ramaphosa's past 5 years. The ANC is going to campaign based on what the ANC has done since 1994. You have to understand what that statement means. The ANC is not going to campaign on Ramaphosa's 5 years, no. The ANC is going to campaign on what the party has done since 1994. It is the desperate measures. These people are telling you that they are going to go to the communities, the poor communities of this country. They know that the majority of the people in this country, they are poor. They know that people like us, people who actually want what is best for this country, man, there's not many of us. This is why this is why we complain year in, year out. This is why people come up with solutions on to fix some of these things, but they will never be fixed. Because people who actually want what is best for this country, there's not many of us. You have to understand that. The ANC is going to go to the poor communities in our country. They're going to say, guys, we build you the houses. You have water in your home. That is because of the ANC government. You have electricity in your home. That is because of the ANC government. You are unemployed, we are giving you 350. That is the ANC government. You have children, we are paying 500 for each. That is ANC government. You have a senior in your home, you have a grandmother or you have a grandfather. We are paying for that. That is the ANC government. You have someone with disabilities in your home. We are paying for that. That is the ANC government. Your children are going to school. We have NSFAS. That is the ANC government. Guys, these people are going to go to the communities and they're going to remind the people of what the African National Congress has done since 1994. The people of this country going into the polls in 2024, they are not going to think about what Ramaphosa has done. Once the ANC kickstarts its campaign, you know even the haters are going to complain. Because once the ANC gets into the campaign mode, no one can stop the African National Congress. And this is the reason why I've said that, man, I don't think the political parties, especially the opposition parties in this country, they are ready to take the fight from the African National Congress, because the ANC is willing to come to the people. The ANC is willing to come to the communities, to go to the informal settlements, to go to the farms, to go to where people are, and to still make their point. So they're going to tell the people that, guys, you have all of these benefits because of the ANC government. And what we can assure you right now is that if you vote for other political party, all of these benefits you're going to lose. 60% of young people in this country, they are unemployed. Majority of people in this country, they are poor. Majority of people in this country, they desperately depend on the African National Congress and these grants and these social welfares. They depend on that. So people, before you know it, man, they will go to the polls thinking that, man, I'm voting for my grants. I'm voting for my children, man. I cannot vote for the DA because the ANC has told me that if the DA gets in power, man, they're going to cancel this SASA grants, they're going to cancel this children's grants, man. You know, and other political parties, man, they are not talking about this stuff. They are not telling the people that, guys, you see, because other political parties are practical. You know, there are other people who are practical. There are people who say that, guys, we cannot continue on this. We cannot continue giving people these grants. We cannot continue wasting money this way. Why can't we use this money this way so that we can improve the lives of the people, man? Why can't you see? There are people with practical solutions, but the thing is that South Africans, man, will not take that step. Majority of the people in this country will not take that step. People will not vote against their grants, their NSFAS. Their SASA, man, people will not vote against that. And the ANC knows that, man, we have created a situation right now in South Africa where people are so poor, they depend on the government for most of the things. So they will not, it is going to be a very hard job to get rid of the ANC, because they've got the people of this country, man, like this. They got the people of this country like this. It's going to be very hard. So for me to think that MK party was concocted by the African National Congress, till today, I still believe that that is not so far off, because I know that the ANC knows that 2024, man, it is the most crucial election they've faced. They know that. They know they have to put out, man, the ANC is going to put out all the stops in 2024. They're going to put out all the stops. Sending Jacob Zuma to start his own stokvel. Man. I believe that Jacob Zuma, man, the ANC, I honestly, deep down in my heart, I believe the ANC concocted this whole thing of MK party, man. I believe the leadership of the African National Congress, they know the party is going to die. I know the supporters of the ANC, they know the party is dying. I know everyone who's looking at the ANC, they know the party is dying. They can lose power, but they cannot lose the benefits. Jacob Zuma has to make sure that the MK gets their foot in parliament. So when this ANC continues to die, MK continues to grow. Different names, same ANC cadres. Different names, same ANC cadres. You know that many people say that the ANC is going to go into coalition in 2024. This is the consensus that South Africans are having right now, that the ANC is going to go into coalition in 2024. If the ANC goes into coalition in 2024, many of the ANC comrades will not get the benefits that they are used to. And guess what? Many of those ANC comrades are going to join MK. Many of those ANC comrades are going to join the MK. So while the ANC is falling on this side, the ANC will be filling up on that side. While people will lose their benefits, their job, because we know that once these people get into coalition, man, a lot of people are going to lose their benefits. A lot of comrades, the taps are going to be closed, man. It's going to be a mess unless the ANC goes into coalition with people like the EFF. We know that it's still the status quo. But if the ANC goes into coalition with the DA or any other party, man, you know that maybe something can be done. But people know that the ANC is dying. The executives, they know that the ANC is dying. So they have to concoct another party to put it in parliament. And the only person who can actually put this stokvel into parliament is Jacob Zuma. It is Jacob Zuma. There is no way, man. There is no way. Ramaphosa pardoned this guy. Ramaphosa pardoned Jacob Zuma. He pardoned Jacob Zuma. He pardoned Jacob Zuma. So if Jacob Zuma, man, if my conspiracy theory is wrong, How does Ramaphosa feel for pardoning Jacob Zuma? How does he feel about pardoning Jacob Zuma? Ramaphosa actually believed that Jacob Zuma wanted to spend his time with his family, man. But this whole thing was concocted by them, man. This whole thing was concocted by them, man. I don't want South Africans to let their guard down. I don't want South Africans to let their guard down. Right now, people are focused on these. Are focused on these personalities. People are letting their guard down because they are focused on the personalities, man. They don't understand that, guys. If you vote for Jacob Zuma, you are still voting for the ANC. If you vote for Ramaphosa, you are still voting for the ANC, man. You are still voting for this monster that South Africans is trying to get rid of. You are still voting for that. And it is so funny seeing people right now saying that, yeah, Ramaphosa is the product of white monopoly capital. We need to get rid of Ramaphosa because Ramaphosa does not do anything for the black people. You know what? People are now willing to vote for Jacob Zuma, man. The same Jacob Zuma who was running the country with the Guptas. People are willing to vote for that. People are willing to vote for that because people are focused on the identity, man. People are focused on the personalities. People, they don't care about the fact that if you vote for Zuma or whether you vote for Ramaphosa, I mean, you still vote for the African National Congress. You are still giving a lifeline to the African National Congress. And men, as South Africans, we cannot afford to give the African National Congress a lifeline right now. We cannot. South Africans cannot afford to give the African National Congress a lifeline right now. We need to get rid of the African National Congress, man. Every single comrade who starts his own stokvel, it needs to be get rid. Man, Jacob Zuma with his stokvel needs to. Guys, we need to clean house. If we really want what is best for this country, we need to clean house. We cannot now pretend like Jacob Zuma was not the president of this country for almost 10 years and ran the country with his Gupta friends and the ministers and the Fiklim Balulas being ordered around like children. We cannot pretend like that didn't happen. We cannot. We cannot. But guess what, man? The majority of the people in this country, man, they are willing to pretend that Jacob Zuma was not the president of the country. The majority of people in this country, man, they are looking at the personalities. People are saying that, man, I will never vote for Ramaphosa. I would rather vote for Jacob Zuma, man. These people, man, still want to destroy this country. South Africans haven't had enough, man. The poor black people in this country, man, they haven't had enough. I think it is because of this whole welfare thing. It is because people know that, man, it doesn't matter whether I vote for the ANC, I'm still going to get my grant, I'm still going to get my 350, man. I believe that because of these grants, this is the reason why people, man, they haven't had enough. They haven't had enough. And you know what is worse, man? If you come up with a new political party and you tell people that, guys, instead of the government giving you this grant, instead of the government wasting so much money, man, with this, most of these welfares, man, are useless. This is what we're going to do with the money. If you tell people that the people are not going to vote for you, majority of the people in this country, man, are poor black people in this country, man. They depend on the government. So if you say anything against the grants, the people are not going to vote for you. And it's an unfortunate scenario, man, because it's still a win-win for the African National Congress. So even if the African National Congress is dying right now, because we know that the African National Congress should have died in 2019, in 2024, man, the only thing that is going to rescue this whole party is the whole thing of social grants. Social grants is going to rescue the African National Congress, man. Many people are going to vote on this grants. And that's why I told people that, guys, it is going to be the most desperate campaign of the African National Congress. I know people say that, man, during the last election, the ANC, man, the elections as a whole, there was a low turnout, man. There's a possibility of a huge turnout because if the ANC starts going to the people and tell the people that, guys, these other guys, they want to cancel the social grants, man, you're going to see people on the polls. You're going to see more people on the polls. People are going to be like, yeah, more people are going to vote, man. It means that we are getting rid of the African National Congress, forgetting that the majority of the people in this country are poor people. Man. These people are going to vote for their grants. They're going to vote to save their grants. They're going to vote to save their NSFAS. The social grants are going to save the African National Congress, man. The social grants are going to save the African National Congress. This will be the most desperate campaign for the ANC going into 2024. This MK thing, man, was not concocted out of nowhere. I don't want people to let their guard down, man. This whole thing of MK was not concocted out of nowhere. Right now, Jacob Zuma going around saying what he's saying about Ramaphosa. As much as I want to believe that he's genuine, man, I do not want to let my guard down. My guard tells me that this is one PR game from the African National Congress. This is because the big business in this country, man, they supported the African National Congress. They don't want the ANC to lose power, because if the ANC lose power, man, they're not going to get away with all sorts of nonsense in this country. So big business supports the African National Congress, man. This sounds like a one big PR machine. It sounds like a PR game, man. Jacob Zuma going around saying whatever that he's saying about Ramaphosa. It sounds like a PR game. It is not genuine to me. It is not. I'm like, guys, it is not. It is not. It is not. It is not genuine to me. It's not. You hear that? The man says that we're not going to vote for the ANC of Ramaphosa. We're going to vote for Umkhonto weSizwe. They're essentially making people look at identity politics instead of the party lines. Look at Ramaphosa and look at me. Look at Ramaphosa. Look at Zuma. Do not look at the parties. They're fooling the people, man. They're fooling the people. Because right now, people will be debating whether to vote for Ramaphosa or whether to vote for Jacob Zuma. But at the end of the day, the ANC is getting the votes. The ANC is getting the votes. To me, this is a one PR game, guys. And again, guys, the other thing, man, that frustrates me as a young person in this country, man. I look at what other countries are doing. I look at the technological advances that are being made throughout the world, man. I look at what countries like China are doing, countries like Russia, China. Man, people are really making huge technological advances. But in South Africa, man, we don't even have electricity. We have these politicians, man. For some reason, we're supposed to believe that Jacob Zuma, there's something that he can bring to the people, for the people of South Africa. We're supposed to believe that there's something that Jacob Zuma can do for the people of South Africa. There's nothing that Jacob Zuma can do for the people of South Africa, man. There's absolutely nothing, man. The man has had his chance as the president of the country. Ramaphosa has had the chance as the president of the country, man. All of these guys, they are failures, man. All of these guys, they deserve each other. There's nothing they can do. They are not progressive, man. They are not talking about what is it that we're going to do to progress. They are not telling us about, guys, this is what we're going to do to take the country forward, man. This is not what these people are doing. These people are simply focused on identity politics. They're simply focused on identity politics, man. So come January, it will be Ramaphosa, Jacob Zuma, and Julius Malema, man. So good luck to South Africans to having to choose between Ramaphosa, Julius Malema, and Jacob Zuma, man. Good luck to all of you guys, because I honestly believe that there's no hope for this country, man. If you have enough money, man, the best thing that you can do right now is to leave. Is to leave. Used to live, man. Right now, I'm going against the things that I stood up against. At first, I didn't want to hear anything about Cape Independence, man. I was like, man, how can these people even suggest the whole Cape Independence nonsense, man? How can people do that? But right now, you actually look at South Africa, man. You look at how majority of poor black people are voting and how they are thinking, and the fact that many of them do not have critical thinking. Many of them, man, they idolize politicians. They don't see politicians as the public servants, man. They see politicians as idols, man. South Africans, they idolize politicians. Majority of poor black people in this country, they idolize politicians. This is why they don't question politicians. This is why people like us, every time when we ask questions, you have these idiots coming on the comment section each and every day telling us that, man, you are talking nonsense. Jacob Zuma is the best statesman of the country. country. Julius Malema is the best thing since sliced bread. This is why you have these people, man. They are defending the politicians with their lives instead of simply questioning these politicians. They are not willing to have the conversations with the people of South Africa. I mean, South Africans are not willing to have conversations with other South Africans because they want to defend the politicians. They want to protect the politicians. Man, we have no hope in this country, man. This is why I'm saying, man, as much as I was against the whole thing of Cape Independence, man, now I'm for it, man. Guys, Cape Independence, guys, go for it. Cape Independence, man. There's no hope for this country, man. You will never fix this country. You can say whatever that you want to say, man. These people of this country, the people of this country, they don't want what is good for this country. South Africans did not want what is good for this country, man. Now I'm going, like, I hated the idea of Cape Independence, but now, man, I'm like, geez, I will do anything in my power, man, to get out of the African National Congress. The African National Congress will never get out of us, but we have to get out of the African National Congress, man. So if it means Cape Independence, guys, so be it. So be it. If the people of this country want to suffer, man, let them suffer alone. Let them suffer alone. Because there's no hope. Man, guys, what do you, like, when you sit down as a young person, when you sit down as a young unemployed person, you look at Jacob Zuma, man. What do you think Jacob Zuma is going to do for South Africa? What do you think that Jacob Zuma is going to do for South Africa? Nothing. He hasn't done nothing for the country. Ramaphosa hasn't done nothing for the country. So why is this thing still a debate? Why are these people, man? Why are these people still dominating the conversations? Why is this thing still a debate? I thought that South Africans, man, were tired. We just wanted to get rid of the African National Congress. But then I quickly remembered that, man, the people who want what is best for this country, it is not many of us. It is not many of us, guys. There's no hope for this country. There's no hope for the people of this country, man. I've literally lost hope for the people of this country. And now I'm honestly feeling like the people of this country are getting exactly what they deserve. You know, Donald Trump used to say that elections have consequences. I feel like South Africans now, they need to suffer the consequences of these elections. They keep voting for the comrades. There's nothing that the comrades can do for us. Jacob Zuma right now, man, he's doing a tour. He's going from town to town, city to city. He's saying nothing about progress. He's saying nothing about what he's going to do to help this country progress. Right now, Jacob Zuma is talking about we're going to fight corruption. Just imagine, man, the audacity of Jacob Zuma telling people that he's going to fight corruption. Jacob Zuma fighting corruption. Jacob Zuma says that he wants to fight corruption. Ramaphosa said he wanted to fight corruption. South Africans believed Ramaphosa when he said he's going to fight corruption. Now South Africans believe Jacob Zuma when he says that he wants to fight corruption, despite the fact that Jacob Zuma was the president of this country for nearly 10 years, and the only thing that Jacob Zuma, man, has done was to help his corrupt bodies. You remember, if Jacob Zuma should have been impeached a long time ago. The ANC, it is the only party that actually protected this man. This man should have been impeached a long time ago. He should have been impeached a long time ago because he's so corrupt. The other political parties were like, no, man, we cannot stand for this. We cannot stand for this. We don't even know who is the president of this country. We don't know if Zuma is the president or Atul Gupta is the president of this country. We don't know. Zuma should have been impeached a long time ago, but the ANC continued to protect him in parliament. They continued to protect him in parliament. The same thing with Ramaphosa, man. The ANC right now is protecting Ramaphosa in parliament. They are protecting him each and every day. The ANC is protecting Ramaphosa. So the ANC is doing what the ANC does best, is protecting Ramaphosa. They are doing what they do best. Guys, in conclusion, man, in conclusion, I'm going to beg you, do not let your guard down. Do not let your guard down. Do not ever think that there's a difference between Jacob Zuma, Ramaphosa, and Malema. All of them, they are the products of the ANC. Whether you vote for the ANC of Ramaphosa, whether you vote for MK Party, or whether you vote for the EFF, you still get the ANC. Those three guys are the products of the ANC. And those three guys are the ones dominating the conversation right now. Think about it. Guys, please tell me what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, and the most important part is subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabas, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.